When it comes to chronic headaches or migraines that may or may not have neck pain, unfortunately, women tend to suffer from this more than men. Now, this can happen starting in middle school and then go all the way until the end of life. What we see here on these x-rays is a side view of young women from the ages of 19 to 37 that have been suffering from headaches and migraines since middle school. Now, when you compare the image on the far left, which is the 19-year-old, compared to the perfect neck curvature that I showed on the other slide, you can start to see that her neck is beginning to straighten, right? It's starting to go like this and it's getting straight. And then when we see the 23-year-old, we're starting to see a progression in that where it's starting to get even straighter, and then you're starting to see a reverse curve. What's happening here is gravity is pushing down on our spine since we're upright all day, and our body is starting to accommodate and shift forward. This is also causing the space where the skull and the first vertebra are to get smaller. That's where that tension, those tension headaches come from. Now, as we look here, we see a 24-year-old compared to the 23-year-old, and we're seeing in real time progression. Now, these are different females. However, you're seeing as age goes that this continues to get worse. And then as we look here, 37, we have severe straightening of the neck and a lot of degeneration in the spine already. And the first vertebra is so close to the skull. This person has been suffering from headaches and migraines since middle school. Now on this slide, we see a continuation of this. 40, 42, and 74. The 40-year-old has a severe reverse curve in the neck with even more degeneration through the mid-cervical spine, as you see there. Now, this 42-year-old has less degeneration, but you're seeing like a very good representation of a reverse curve right in the mid-cervical spine. And then at this end, we're seeing a 74-year-old female with a severe case of headaches and migraines, and she actually had to have the bones in her neck fused. Now, how we avoid these extreme examples of progression of headaches and migraines with the damage we're seeing here in the neck, the cervical spine, is because the spine is squished, we essentially need to unsquish it, we need to decompress it, and then we also need to adjust the vertebra so the function of the vertebra is better and they can move easier. Now, all these examples that you're seeing here are patients in my office, and each person that received regular chiropractic care, and some of them with decompression therapy, all now have a 70 to 90% improvement in the frequency, intensity, and duration of their migraines. And after we got them to this point, they simply need to come in for some really, really easy maintenance treatments. So if you or anyone that you know is suffering from chronic headaches and migraines, please come in and get evaluated and see what we can do for you. Now, you might think that these are actually extreme cases, but they're really not, because unfortunately, this will happen to most people that don't do anything about this, because years of having the spine compressed and then being put into certain patterns, the bones have no choice but to accommodate to that and start to develop this advanced arthritis because they're trying to protect the joint space. And believe it or not, this is the body's response to trying to make it not be worse. But unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword, and it oftentimes does make it worse. Now, to avoid this happening to you, we simply need to unsquish a spine or decompress a spine that has essentially been compressed or squished, and then get the bones to move easier with some nice, easy, gentle, and effective spinal adjustments. Now, you might actually think that this is an extreme situation, but unfortunately, especially for women, this is actually a normal representation of the advancement of what happens in the neck when someone is suffering from chronic headaches and migraines, and what happens with the neck. And then this degeneration does occur later, or in many, many cases. Now, what you do is you simply unsquish or you decompress the spine, and you adjust the vertebra, you move them so that the function of the vertebra is improved and the neck isn't in so much pain. Now, each one of these x-rays is someone that has been seen in my office, and they are current patients. And after regular chiropractic treatment and initial care plan, these women saw a 70 to 90% improvement in their duration, intensity, frequency of their headaches or migraines after having a treatment plan in this office. And it's very, very easy to maintain that improvement afterwards. If you or anyone that you know is suffering from chronic headaches or migraines, maybe for years or just started itself just now, then please come in and get evaluated and see what we can do for you to avoid situations like this.